What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Shit is getting real. I'm actually going to pick up the SUV, which will be our home for the next few days as we head to Kansas City for the NFL draft. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I mean, I literally can't contain myself right now. Here's the good thing about the Cowboys situation, and you know what? I am waffling on what they should do, because the Cowboys are in a position where they have a good team, and it's a matter of we could use an impact. You know, I don't want to get a draft pick that's going to be a guy that's going to be waiting to play. Because, see, you need a guy like a Micah Parsons that comes in day one, that's a starter, that changes the culture. You need a guy like CeeDee Lamb, day one, plug in. You don't need a Taco Charlton. You don't.
This is Bandora Street.
You need a guy who is going to get shit done. Now, it's interesting because you got Stephen Jones saying that they've got 15 to 18 guys with the first round grade on them, which could mean that they look and say, we're better off because after you get past that 18 guys, unless one of those guys that you deem one of those first round guys falls towards you, you're better off maybe looking and saying, after the first 20, everything is kind of relative between the first and the second round. And if that's the case, then you may be better suited moving back and getting an extra pick. You know, maybe it ends up being like you did with Micah. You move back 2 spaces. You move back 2 spaces or so, and you pick up a third round pick. It may be you move back 4 spaces, and maybe you can get into the second round. And maybe you've got 2 second round picks, although that's a scary proposition because the Cowboys have not had a lot of success in the second round. The other thing you might look at and say is, all right, we're pretty good as far as most of the offensive line. We need a guard. And it may be that you look and say, let's go up and get a guy that we know is going to be a day one plug-in starter. You know, maybe this guy that you really like is going to be gone before you pick him. And it may be, excuse me, got a little something in my throat there. It may be advantageous for you to say, it's worth us taking a third round pick and, you know, pairing it up with our first round pick and moving up to get an impact player. Not Bijan. I don't want to go ahead and get a running back. I need to get myself an offensive lineman. I need to get a stud defensive tackle. I think I could use another wide receiver if we don't go for DeAndre Hopkins. There's a lot of things that I would love to see this team do to really get better. I just do. But they have put themselves in a position where, I think back to, I guess it was 2018 with Taco. Draft is in Philadelphia. And you looked at our defensive line and you were like, who's going to end up rushing the passer? Because you literally had nobody. You had Tyrone Crawford, who's one of your best guys. DeMarcus Lawrence hadn't had the great season that he was about to have, where he had 14.5 sacks. He, in fact, was beginning to have the bust label kind of put on him because his second year, or second year, he ended up having, you know, a 4-game suspension, had 1 sack on the season, and just could not get anything done. So you looked and said, the Cowboys truly have to get somebody to rush the passer. And that's where, unfortunately, it wasn't TJ Watt. It was the soft Taco and Taco Charlton. And that's the problem of having to draft because of a need. You reach for a guy, and we reached for Taco, who fit what Rod Marnelli liked, but just did not have the desire, the football IQ, or the abilities that you needed right there. So not having to reach is a good thing. Who are they going to go for? You know, I don't know that anybody that does a mock draft that has gotten the Dallas Cowboys correct. Just don't. And so anybody that tells you that they know for sure that's not Jerry, Stephen, or Will McClay or Mike McCarthy, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. But I am happy of the position that we are in right now. And I don't think that this cake is done yet. I think there's still going to be quite a few more movable parts that are going to happen besides the draft. I almost feel like Jerry Jones and crew are going all in for Vegas. We'll have to wait and see if that's the case. But in the meantime, we're just going to ride on downtown and get ourselves that SUV. I just can't wait to go. Tomorrow, man, tomorrow. Kansas City, here we go. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, I appreciate you guys. Hey, Cone Boy, I didn't know. They got a museum just for you guys, man. The National Postal Museum. Huh. Who knew? Guess there's a lot of history there with the post office. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Cone Boy.